All right, welcome back to the channel and welcome to All Things Brantford. So today we're going to look at something that I think is quite interesting in the real estate market here in the city of Brantford, and that is the difference in price and cost to rent a home or buy a home. And I think a lot of you might be really surprised kind of at the differences. So what I found are two very similar homes. Both are brand new, and we'll kind of put them up on the screen. So these are brand new homes in the same neighborhood, and they're the same model. Now, obviously, they're going to have different finishes, different upgrades, but as far as an apples to apples comparison, brand new, same neighborhood, same model. One is for sale for $869,000. One's available to rent or lease for $2,800 a month. So we're going to look at in today's video the cost of buying the one for $869 or renting the one for $2,600. Now, a few caveats before we get into the video, because this video is going to show that it's quite a bit cheaper to rent over month. And of course, the big down payment you don't need to rent, or that you could invest, and then you can invest the money per month that you're saving. Few things. If you're looking at having a home for less than 2 or 3 years, I think renting right now could be a great option because it is significantly less money to rent. But if you're looking for that forever home, that's where you're going to be for the next 20, 30, 40 years, I still think it's better to buy, to own that home outright. You have a bit more solid foundation that way. You don't have to deal with landlords, increasing rent, things like that. Bear in mind as well, in where we are in Brantford, Ontario, Canada, there is no rent control on these newer units. So, your landlord at the end of your lease can say, if the market dictates they need another $1,000 a month, it can go up $1,000 a month. So again, I think short term, there's a really good case to be made for renting a property. Long term, I still do believe that it's in your best interest to buy. If it's the long term, you're going to be there for a long time. But like I said, a lot of people don't know they're moving to Brantford from the GTA, and they don't know exactly how long they'll be. It could be a really good way to get to know the city and also save a little bit of money. So I'm going to pull up a mortgage calculator for the purchase. So as you'll see, hopefully it's right beside my head on the screen here. We're going to look at the $869,000 purchase with 20% down. That's about $173,000. I used a 30-year amortization, the longest amortization we could go, and a mortgage rate, a fixed rate at 5%, which right now, early 2024, might be a little bit on the low side for an uninsured mortgage, but maybe attainable. So right around what you can get on a mortgage at the time of filming this. So looking at that, that puts you at a monthly mortgage payment of about $3,700 a month. $3,700 a month. Plus you'll have property tax. I'm going to use $300 a month for property tax, which is low. And then of course you're going to have your land transfer tax on the purchase as well. So that looks at purchasing a home, 20% down, 5% rate, roughly $3,700 a month. So we'll click on this next little chart here, and we'll compare them side by side to lease or to buy. So $869,900 purchase price, roughly $173,800 down, plus your land transfer tax of just under $14,000, and then your lawyer's fees. So you're going to need out of pocket for 20% down, roughly $190,000. Of course, if you're renting and you have that money, you can invest it. You can do whatever you want with it. It doesn't have to go into the purchase price of a home because you're going to rent the home instead. So out of pocket, just under $190,000, mortgage payment $3,710, plus property tax of $300 a month. You're roughly looking at just over $4,000 on a straight purchase. Now, like I said, to go lease or rent that exact same house, it could be offered at $2,800 a month. In Ontario, Canada, Brantford, where we are, you have first and last month's rent is what you first give to the landlord. So it's doubled. And 1 month, the $2,800 is saved for your last month's rent, and then first month. So we could say you're out of pocket more than $2,800, but basically it's just $2,800 a month. the landlord is going to cover the property tax, their own mortgage, everything like that. So looking at this scenario side by side, you're saving over $1,000 a month plus about $190,000 that you didn't have to put down to live in basically the same house in the same neighborhood. Like I said, finishes aside. Now, why is there such a big jump? Because really, these aren't good investments. To have purchased this property for that much, like let's say if you were to purchase this house and try to rent it, well, you're paying over $4,000 a month to carry it, and the market rent you can get is only $2,800 a month, and that's with 20% down. In order for this to kind of cash flow or carry, you need to put 50% down, 60% down, or pay cash for the house. And maybe some of these folks are in that situation where they just had a bunch of money, they wanted to park it in a property and rent it. I think a lot of these folks too bought these homes pre-sale from the builder, and they were hoping to flip out of them. But now, because where prices have gone from the high of the market in 2022 to now, they've decided to hold the property and rent it. Also different tax concerns that came up with holding properties versus selling them. So there's a lot of different factors, but basically the main thing I want to get put across on this video is just the breakdown of the numbers. Those are the numbers. Now, of course, we're just paying asking price for the house. We're paying asking rent for the lease. So kind of it all stays the same. I think as you go through the scenarios, they're going to kind of stay in that same vein and kind of same difference. Again, this scenario is for a single family detached home. I could possibly run the same scenario on buying an apartment versus leasing an apartment if you want to see that, or buying a townhouse versus leasing a townhouse if you want to see that, and to see if the disparity grows or shrinks. Of course, if you have any questions, drop a comment. This is a new YouTube channel for myself. I've been a Brantford real estate agent for just about 10 years and trying to provide some value over YouTube. Please like, comment, subscribe. It helps me out. It helps the channel out. I'm going to put a lot of content out this year, so I hope to see you back in another video.